Mm, 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 mm. Good evening. I should be sleeping. I want to be pretty clear about that. If I should be doing anything right now, I should be sleeping. I'm not. Obviously, I am here. I am fully wide awake. I went to bed this morning at around 3 a.m. Came in after covering the WWE Elimination Chamber. John Cena, how could you? But we're going to leave that for another day. I should be sleeping right now because a few hours ago I was on a train and my friend looks at me and he's like, "Are you going to make it through the Academy Awards tonight?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm going to be okay. I'm better than okay." You would think, first of all, with my level of excitement coming off of these Academy Awards, that I had shares in Neon Films, or if I was one of the producers or the filmmakers or somebody behind Anora. I'm not. I'm just a guy who loves film, and I'm a guy who is absolutely thrilled for Sean Baker and for his team because they absolutely owned the Oscars tonight, going 5 for 6 tonight, winning Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actress for Mikey Madison, Best Original Screenplay, and Best Film Editing. The only award they did not win was Supporting Actor, which of course we all knew was going to go to Kieran Culkin, and it did. So congratulations to him. Going to keep this brief, but we're going to run through the Academy Awards. I think the broadcast overall was pretty good. I think Conan O'Brien did a decent job as host. I think that we're at a point where we seem to have like this low tolerance for, I guess, for paying attention to award shows. We kind of want to quicken over with. Gone or the 4-hour Academy Awards that we've seen so many times in the past, and now we're getting like they're running a pretty tight ship. I think his monologue was decent. I think he threw in some great humor. And I don't think there was anything about his hosting that I think was necessarily overwhelmingly funny, but not disappointing either. I think that he made some really good jokes. His comment about Honora, finally somebody to stand up to a Russian bully or something of that nature. I enjoyed that as the audience did. I think his opening was fun. I was glad to see him do it as a comedian. Many comedians, they will say that their big, like the big gig is hosting the Oscars. It's kind of on the comedian bucket list. So I was absolutely thrilled that he had the opportunity to do it. And again, I think he did a decent job. In regards to the awards themselves, I think for the most part, they went how we thought they were going to go. Zoe Saldana winning Best Supporting Actress. We knew that was going to happen. Kieran Culkin winning Best Supporting Actor. We knew that was going to happen. We knew there was a very good chance that Adrian Brody or Timothée Chalamet was going to win Best Actor. It happened to go to Adrian Brody. And again, I can't be mad at it. I predicted Chalamet, but Brody was fantastic in The Brutalist. They both gave fantastic performances. Sometimes I sit back and I think to myself, okay, most people had a feeling that Brody was going to win. You think he would have like prepared a speech. That didn't really seem to be the case. He was kind of all over the place, but he got the award for his acting, not for his speech writing. So Mikey Madison winning for Best Actress was absolutely fantastic. Demi Moore had won, of course, the Screen Actors Guild. She'd won. I believe obviously she'd won the Golden Globe as well. But Mikey Madison won the BAFTA. She won the Critics' Choice as well as the Independent Spirit Award. And the Independent Spirit Award's no joke because instead of having Best Actor, Best Actress, they put them all together. So she's in a category of like 10 people, and she came out on top on that, which is absolutely amazing for her. So I was thrilled to see her win, and thrilled for Sean Baker. Several years ago, I was at the Toronto Film Festival, and I saw a movie called The Florida Project. And like many of Sean Baker, actually, like all of Sean Baker's movies, it was a movie that focused on a marginalized community. It was about a mother and daughter living, just below the poverty line at a motel just outside of Disneyland. And it was interesting as we kind of went through the summer and saw how they were living. and Sean Baker focused on them. And the only nomination that award that film got was Best Supporting Actor for Willem Dafoe. And it was really disappointing when the nominations came out, because the little girl Brooklyn Prince was fantastic in it, and of course Sean Baker's screenplay and the film was beautiful. But again, it didn't seem to resonate with the Academy. Fast forward, he made another movie called Red Rocket, which was critically acclaimed. Again, didn't get the love. And now with Anora, he's got a film that absolutely took home all the top awards. I love his passion for independent film. I love his passion for getting people into the theater. There were a lot of people that saw this movie and just kind of dismissed it in terms of, oh, you know, she's a sex worker or she's a stripper, and there's a lot of swearing, there's a lot of this. There's so much more to the film. And one of the things that I appreciate about it is that Baker went deep into the weeds in terms of trying to make it as authentic as possible. He saw Mikey Madison in a Scream movie, and he also saw her in many of you did, saw her in Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, although there was nothing about her performance that necessarily might have stood out, but he saw something in her. He went and said he wanted to work with her. She was agreeable. He wrote the script specifically for her, and then they went and they made this incredible movie, which is now an Oscar winner among other award ceremonies. So I'm absolutely thrilled for Anora. I've been singing its praises since I saw it at TIFF in September. It is the second time in my life I've gone to the Toronto Film Festival and seen a movie twice at the festival. The first time was Molly's Game, and you could attribute that to the fact that it was a fantastic movie, but also my celebrity crush, Jessica Chastain, was in it. But this time when I went to see Anora, I saw the press screening, and I wanted to go to the red carpet opening because I wanted to be in the same room as Sean Baker, and I wanted to hear what he had to say about this movie. I think this movie is absolutely incredible, and I'm thrilled, beyond thrilled that it won Best Picture, because I think it does a lot not only for independent film. I think Sean Baker is an incredible filmmaker who deserves to be recognized, and now has been recognized several times over by so many different award branches, and it's great. So just an incredible night for Anora, and absolutely thrilled. Like I said, you would think that I have shares. I don't, but I'm thrilled. So let's go through some of the other awards. Animated feature film was also great. I expected it to go to The Wild Robot just because of a lot of the awards it had been winning. It went to Flow, which in my preview article, I said this is a movie that should have been nominated for Best Picture. It's an animated movie. There's not any there isn't a word of dialogue in it. It's an absolutely beautiful film from Latvia, and congratulations to the team on winning the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature. In the Shadow of Cypress won Best Animated Short Film. Cinematography did not go to Dune as I expected it to, but it did go to The Brutalist. Costume design, no big shock there, going to Wicked. And the great thing about costume design, Paul Tazewell, the costume designer for Wicked, is the first Black man to ever win the award for costume design. So that was an amazing moment, and thrilled to see him with this achievement. Documentary feature film, predicted this would go to, and it did go to, No Other Land. An incredible film. There were a lot of great films in the documentary feature film category, and I was very happy to see No Other Land take this one. A documentary short film went to The Only Girl in the Orchestra. As I mentioned, film editing went to Anora. International film. Now, here was an interesting one. There were a lot of great movies in this. I'm Still Here, of course, from Brazil, ended up winning it. Had we had this conversation back in January, it would have looked like Emilia Perez would have won it. Obviously, with all the controversy surrounding that movie, that did not happen. The Seed of the Sacred Fig was a great movie, but never really seemed to catch on to the extent that some of the other ones did. I've heard nothing but great things about The Girl with the Needle. I have not seen it yet. And of course, Flow. But I'm Still Here is an incredible film. When it won Best Actress, when Fernanda Torres won Best Actress at the Golden Globes, I wasn't familiar with the movie, and then after I saw it, I'm like, okay, I get it. It's a remarkable piece of film, and thrilled that they won for Best International Feature Film. Of course, The Substance won for Best Makeup and Hair Styling. I think next to the overall vision of the director Coralie Farget in The Substance, you have to recognize just how incredibly powerful the makeup team did with that movie. So again, we had some great nominees here. A Different Man was in there. Nosferatu was in there. Wicked was in there. But The Substance and the just the transformation of Demi Moore's character throughout that film was just remarkable. So congratulations to that team. Original score went to The Brutalist for their score, and best original song went to Amelia Perez. I was secretly hoping that we could end the streak for Diane Warren. She has been nominated 16 times for an Academy Award. She's never won. It would have been amazing to see her win. That did not happen. But I'll say the same thing I said about 365 days ago. Diane, we'll see you next year. Production design went to Wicked. The sets in that movie were just absolutely breathtaking. I'm Not a Robot won Best Live Action Short Film. And Dune Part 2 did pick up a couple of technical awards with sound and visual effects. I mentioned earlier that Anora won Best Original Screenplay, so congratulations to Sean Baker on that. I was really hoping that Nickel Boys would follow with their win at the Writers Guild Awards and get the Best Adapted Screenplay. That ended up going to Conclave. So congratulations to Conclave. It's really sad that Nickel Boys ended up going home empty-handed tonight. But it's interesting. This was a critically adored film that did not have a lot of promotion behind it. And that's the frustrating thing. It's a fantastic movie. I've yet to come across anybody who didn't enjoy it, but in terms of the overall promotion of the movie, it was just very poor. You did not hear a lot of people talking about going to see Nickel Boys in the theater because it wasn't playing at a lot of theaters. Although I will tell you, it's on Prime Video now. So if you've got Prime, in between ordering all your packages that you like getting like next day delivery for, I would say jump on and go and check out Nickel Boys. Look at this traitor. Derek, do you guys remember Derek? He was on the other day. And he says, hey, Keith, I got another show I'm going to. He's coming in. I went 16 for 23 tonight. Not the worst. I should have picked with my heart in my categories. And Nora got me 5 for 5 for my predictions. There you go. Thank you, Sean Baker, for helping Derek through. It's one of those things. It's like you to your point, Derek, in regards to the predictions, you look at different categories. So for example, everything told us that Adrian Brody was going to win this award, just in terms of the momentum he had and everything that he had won leading up to it, with the exception really of the Screen Actors Guild Award. But coming out of both movies, myself personally, I was moved by Chalamet's performance. It's not because I'm a Bob Dylan fan. I just thought his performance was fantastic. I loved when he got up on the Screen Actors Guild stage and said, hey, listen, this was 5.5 years of my life. And I hope he doesn't go home from tonight thinking, oh, I wasted 5.5 years. Timothy Chalamet is an outstanding actor who will definitely have an Academy Award on his mantle at some point. I don't know if it's a matter of people kind of being caught up with all of the tabloid stuff and by tabloid stuff, like who's he dating and all this stuff. Like, forget that. The man can act his ass off, and he did a fantastic job. Again, as I mentioned, right or wrong, I was extremely underwhelmed by Adrian Brody's speech. I think it was probably one of the more disappointing speeches of the night, just in terms of, it always blows my mind when you have all these people that are saying there's a very good chance you could win, and then they get up there and like, oh my God, I didn't see this happening. Anyway, all that being said, let's go back to Anora. This is a celebration. This is one of those nights where it's obviously, let's quote unquote Hollywood's biggest night, and it's this incredible celebration of film. And for me, what better way to celebrate film than with like a true filmmaker, somebody who has paid their dues, somebody who has made films, and then with each single film that he makes, he just seems to get better and better. He surrounds himself with talented people. He surrounds himself with his friends. One of the actors in Anora has been in every single one of Sean Baker's movies, and part of the story with this film that he wanted to tell was kind of looking at the Russian American lifestyle and bringing that to the screen. This is just such an incredible piece of filmmaking. I'm just so blown away by it. And Mikey Madison just owned every single scene that she was in. The last scene is nothing short of heartbreaking. And you watch this movie and you're just completely captivated by her performance. Um, I was not talking about Mikey Madison a year ago. I wasn't going back to that actor from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Um, I just wasn't. Sean Baker saw something in her, and it just goes to show when you have the right director, you can bring out like the best performance in them. And I'm just so happy for that entire team. In my next room, in my movie room, one of the posters that we have hanging on the wall is Anora. I'm smiling at it brightly as I'm thrilled with their success. And I wish I was in Hollywood partying with them. They'd be like, "Hey, Keith, what's up?" No, they wouldn't, but maybe they would. It's just incredible. And I'm thrilled. Now, there were a lot of great movies. A lot of times people are like, "Oh, what should I check out?" I will tell you, start with your best picture list. There were some great films that were nominated this year. Anora, of course, was incredible. But if you've got 3 hours and 40 minutes, and I don't say that tongue in cheeky, but if you've got some time, The Brutalist is definitely worth checking out. A Complete Unknown, the biopic of Bob Dylan, is incredible. Not simply just for Timothy Chalamet's performance, but also Ed Norton, Monica Barbaro, Ellie Fanning. They all nailed it, and they were all incredible. And that's why 3 out of 4 of them were nominated for acting awards. If you want to dive into like some mystery and some intrigue, Conclave is right up your alley. I wish Dune Part 2 was still playing in theaters, because that's a movie that needs to be seen on a big screen. It shouldn't be seen on your tablet. But Dune Part 2 is incredible, and just such a cinematic achievement. I've become a broken record because I've said it time and time again. There are two directors working in the IMAX space that actually know what they're doing: Christopher Nolan and Denis Villeneuve. You could add James Cameron into that, but he's not nearly as active as the other two. Emilia Perez, I didn't love, but it's worth checking out for Zoe Saldana's performance. I'm Still Here is a beautiful movie. Obviously, Best Picture winner, as I mentioned, for Best International Film. It's just such an under the radar film, and you need people like me to recommend it to you. And I think you should definitely check it out. Nickel Boys was my co-favorite movie of 2024. And I loved it. I loved how it's shot. I love the story is utterly heartbreaking, but it's a beautiful film. There's absolutely nothing like The Substance. Coralie Farget is an incredible filmmaker. And in all honesty, as I said the other day, if she had ended up winning Best Director, I would not have been sad about that. I think she's incredible, and I think her vision's incredible. Demi Moore, obviously being the lead, got a lot of credit for the film, but it's really the vision. It doesn't rest on the shoulders of Demi Moore's performance. It rests on the shoulders of the vision of Coralie Farget, because she's absolutely incredible. And last but not least, Wicked. And if you like the first Wicked movie, guess what? We got another one coming out later this year. And here's the thing. I've said it before. I didn't love the songs in Wicked. That's subjective. To take that with a grain of salt. But in terms of like the movie, the visual spectacle that was Wicked, I thought it was a fantastic movie. So we start with those 10, and then we can go from there. There are a lot of great movies, that are on the horizon, and who knows what movie we'll be talking about a year from now in terms of Best Picture winner. It's bittersweet to see the award season come to an end. But bitter because we're not going to be jumping on and doing, well, maybe we will start doing more of these live streams, but the whole prediction for this season has come to an end. But I am absolutely beyond thrilled that Anora dominated the Oscars in the way that it did. It didn't win the most Oscars in Oscar history. It didn't like set any sort of like Titanic type records, but it went 5 for 6. And the 5 that it won were pretty spectacular. It was expected to win picture. It was expected to win director. Demi Moore, by a lot of people's takes, was supposed to win Best Actress. And with all due respect to her, I'm thrilled that it went to Anora. Film editing to Anora is incredible. Screenplay to Anora is incredible. Just a fantastic night. This was the Academy Awards of Anora, and I'm here for it. Anyways, I have a couple of media commitments tomorrow. We'll be talking about Anora for days to come. I'm very excited about it. feel free to drop in. I guess I'm filming this pretty late from an East Coast standpoint, but feel free to drop in with any sort of comments, and we can keep the conversation going. I do hope you have the opportunity, if you haven't already, to see the best picture of 2024, which is Anora. It's an incredible film, and let me know what you thought about the Academy Awards in the comments, and let me know what your thoughts on that. Thank you so much for checking this out. Like I said, it's going to be a quick stream. I wanted to jump on and give my thoughts on the Academy Awards, and my thoughts are I'm thrilled. I don't mind telling you, towards the end, as the director and the actress and the picture, I was just standing up, just constantly clapping at my screen. I years ago, I would tell you that one of my dream interviews, and still is, would have been Jessica Chastain. My bucket list item before 2025 is done is to try to get an interview with Sean Baker. I'm hoping that I've been fortunate to have a lot of really good things happen in my life. I'm hoping I can add that to the list because I'm just blown away with his style. I think he's made some incredible films. He speaks to a community that does not get a lot of representation on screen. And I don't mean simply the sex worker community. I mean marginalized communities. He goes and he takes a lens to them when other people don't. He wants to have a conversation about them, and not to make fun of them, not to make them, put them down in any sort of way, but just to say, hey, they're people, and let's talk about their stories. And those are just a couple of reasons why I think he's an incredible filmmaker. And tonight, the Academy agreed with me. So I'll leave it there. Thanks so much for checking this out, Derek. 16 out of 23 on a if you're still around, on a night where it was so much was unpredictable. Don't feel bad about 16 out of 23. Feel good about your 5 out of 5 for Anora predictions. I will talk to you all soon. I will find a reason to get back on here so we can have more of a chat and at a decent hour for my friends here in the East Coast. And I will talk to you guys later. Everyone have a good night. Bye.